Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic, Volume 1, Episode 24. Today, we are going to be looking at what I consider to be the quintessential shading puzzle, Nurikabe. I really love solving these. I like making them as well. The rules aren't too difficult to understand and kind of have the underlying underpinnings of the rules that you see in a lot of other shading genres as well. So if you get good at these, you can start seeing patterns in other styles as well. So I'm excited about this, and for those who have not seen it before, for example, in the previous issue of the newsletter, where I shared some of these puzzles that I had made, we need to take a look at the rules. Nurikabe is a shading puzzle. We will shade cells in the puzzle such that all shaded cells are orthogonally connected but never form a 2x2 shaded region. Orthogonally connected just means sharing an edge, so vertically or horizontally connected. We can never form a 2x2 shaded region. As you can see, we don't have a square of black cells right there. A number clue is never shaded and shows the size of the orthogonally connected unshaded region it is part of. So that's saying that this 6 is part of an unshaded region of 6 cells, and in the answer you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells in that region. The fact that these are diagonally connected does not matter because we're talking about orthogonally connected. All unshaded regions have exactly one clue. That means we can't have an extra region. We couldn't surround this white square here with shaded cells all around here because that would be illegal. And also we can't have two, this example, it would be impossible anyway, but we can't have, let's say these were both 4s, they couldn't be part of the same 4-cell region because it's exactly one clue. Those are all of the rules of Nurikabe, so it's time to solve a puzzle. Today's Nurikabe is by Tyrgannus. I start Nurikabe by looking for 1 clues if they exist because they are givens for us. We can isolate all the 1s in the grid with shaded cells all the way around them. That's the only way you can make a region of size 1. Then I look to see, did I make any shaded regions that have no choices about where they go and then need to escape to meet the shaded cells in the rest of the grid. And we've got a couple of them up here. This shaded cell would be isolated if we didn't go south. This one would be isolated if we don't go east. Another quick gimme are cells, are clues that have only 1 cell in between them. Either the configuration we see a lot of here, like this one and this one, or if you had 2 diagonally separated clues, they would only have 1 cell in between them in the other the other 2 cells of that 2x2 square. But in this case, there are a lot of places where we've got 2 clues that we need to keep apart, so we can shade the cells in between them and then apply the same reasoning I just did earlier, that those little dead ends must extend out to meet the rest of the shaded cells in the grid. Okay, what we've done by doing that is we've determined the direction that some of these other regions will move. So this 2-cell, this 3-cell, this 4-cell, this 5-cell have to go south at least at first because there's no other place they can go legally. And that gives me the entirety of this 2-cell region. It gives me the entirety of this 3-cell region. And the 4 and the 5 must stay separate, so this must be a shaded region. And then we can go back to the 4 and 5 clue and say, well, they've got to go even further out and can't go any other way, which again requires them to be separated. We've finished the 4 region, so we can box that in. And this 5 region needs to go one more cell to get the full 5. And we've finished that and boxed that in. We'll be able to do the same thing on the left side, but before we get there, I want to point out another thing that we can do. As soon as we get an L shape anywhere, we can apply the rule that says we can't have a 2x2 shaded region. So we couldn't have all 4 of these be shaded, which means this one is unshaded. Same here, this one is unshaded. Okay. So now let's head back to these clues over here. Again, they all have more cells they need to take up and can only go east. The 2-cell region is done. The 3-cell region needs to go one more space and then it's done. The 4-cell region needs to go one more space and it's going to meet up with the one that we deduced because of the 2x2 rule. So now this 4-cell region is likewise done. Now we've got a little region here that needs to extend in order to meet other shaded cells. We have an L shape that needs an unshaded cell here. And we've got an unshaded cell here that needs to find a clue to be with. So it's got to go west. And when it does, it meets up with this 4 clue, which is now complete. And just like that, we've finished almost all of the puzzle. We just have to figure out what to do with this 4 clue. Now, this is the first time that I'm seeing less than trivial logic. The 4 clue, I'm going to assert, must reach this column as well as this column. Because in either case, if the 4 clue did not enter this column, they would both be shaded because there's nothing else, there's no other clues to reach it. So since these would both be shaded, we'd have a 2x2, so that's illegal. So the 4 clue must make it over here. And the same thing goes here. The 4 clue must make it over here. So we need to find a shape for this 4-cell region that will reach both of these columns. And the only such shape, because they're 4 apart, is a straight line. And that straight line has to include the 4 itself. So it will extend like so. And by closing it off at the bottom, this isolated region right over here is going to meet its friends. And now we have one big orthogonally connected region that isolates all of the regions into the appropriate sizes, so we can check our work, and that is how you solve a Nurikabe. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and check out the description below for more free puzzles.